Well, good morning everyone and welcome back. I think this is going to be a pretty quick video. I was working on sawing some logs for a customer that he brought out to me, and I got to this one right here and he just wants it in slabs. And I knew it was hollow, I knew it had some issues, but I started looking at it and I thought, man, I need to share this with my YouTube folks because this log is going to be super interesting, and I don't know if that's good or bad. So as you can see, the log is hollow. Total length of this log is only 5 feet, so pretty short, and the rot is 32 inches of that, and it's a little bit soft still, so actually it probably goes a little bit farther than that. And I wish I had started filming a little bit earlier because this is all the junk that I washed out of this. I was just going to put it on the mill. In fact, I had it on the mill and I had to take it off because I realized it was completely full of mud and it was already very wet even before I started spraying water on it. So leaves and all kinds of junk and mud and stuff that I did not want my saw blade to be going through. So I'm just going to put it on the sawmill and make a whole bunch of flat cuts and get slabs out of it. This is going to be really interesting. I have never sawed a log quite in this kind of condition, so we'll see what it looks like together. Pause for just a minute to see what's coming out of this log here. These slabs are actually pretty nice looking, but I think we're starting to get into some spots right. Ugh, good grief. We're starting to get into some really, oh, that's mud. Oh man. This blade, thankfully it had been used some before, so it's almost time for it to be replaced, but still this is gonna end its life a little prematurely, I'm afraid. But anyway, let's see what we're looking at here. Ooh. So when the customer brought this log, he said, I think the rot only goes about halfway, and we just measured and it went up to 32 inches. So he was right about halfway on what you could see. But unfortunately, if you look right over here, you can see this heart is very discolored. You've got a little bit of kind of early heart rot on this water oak log right here. And so I was very suspicious that maybe that rot went a little bit farther than he was thinking. And indeed it does. Here's the halfway mark on this log. And you can see that it is all down through there. And that is just, I guess, I thought maybe that was mud, but I'm starting to think maybe it's just very wet or rotten sawdust. So maybe it won't ruin the blade quite as bad as I was thinking. So what do you think about this log?
gross.
It's
That's what I think about it. That's all I think about. It's gross.
There's several over there in that stack, but I really think these are the best representations of that log. And I'll have to say I'm kind of surprised. I was kind of expecting the rot to go all the way to the end, and therefore some of these just kind of be split in half and they'd be pretty much worthless. But you know what? You could do something with these. You could do some kind of an epoxy pour on these. I'm sure you could get all the rot out of these, and I'm sure a creative person could really do something with these slabs. They turned out a whole lot better than I expected. I will say I'm seeing some tooth marks on here, so I'm pretty sure this log wound that blade up. I had used it on a few logs already, but it definitely had some life in it. I think this log pretty well ended it prematurely, but that's okay. We did end up getting some surprisingly decent slabs out of it. Now, when I say surprisingly decent, I don't mean these are the nicest, most perfect slabs ever, but these are slabs that a very creative person could do something really special with. You see all kind of epoxy pour type videos on YouTube, and I feel like if you filled in that rotten spot there with epoxy, you could have some really beautiful tables with these. Kind of looks like there's a holdup at the OK Corral here, and everybody's got their hands up. Well guys, again, this was going to be a much shorter video than normal, but I thought maybe I would share this super interesting log with you, and it turned out better than I expected. So hey, that was a success. I will see y'all in the next one. Thank y'all so much for watching.